Aloha, everybody. This is Joshua Hayes at BigWaveTrading.com and BigWaveTrading.net coming to you with the stock market wrap-up for you to use on the 30th of June. First off, after the rebalancing that we saw on Friday, a lot of people are afraid that the moves that we saw that day weren't going to be real or sustainable because of the rebalancing. However, to me, it felt like there was some hidden accumulation underneath, and I'll have to check on my new longs. Listen, if they didn't work out today, if you happen to be holding any longs that went down on the day that looked pretty ugly, you're just going to sell them all. It's no big deal. We're just going to sell them, and we're going to move on. We're going to move on to big winners. I have another stock that I've been long for a long time that's actually giving me another long signal way up here. That stock's name is, I don't think I should be giving it out to everybody. The bottom line is it's now up 103% since April 9th on me. It's a great Chinese stock, and I keep telling people it's probably the area that you're going to need to focus on is China whenever, you have the whatever happens. And also, remember how last night I was talking about CHBT hopefully not gapping down like it did in April? Well, sadly, the stupid stock did. So instead of getting to leave with the 56% on a gain like that, we only got to leave with right around 30%. So once again, I'd like to thank those dumb market makers for, giving me a little rough spot to deal with CHBT. But anyway, let's go ahead and work on the NASDAQ. And as you see, on the day after the expiration day, we have volume lower than the day before. However, intraday, it was a very bullish overall pattern. Now, granted, you can see that we opened at 1842 and we closed at 1844, which means one thing. We closed stronger than the way we opened. And since we spent the majority of the range on the lower side or did more action in the lower side than the top side, this to me is another very bullish reversal and continues with the trend of the 50-day moving average holding on, or the price holding on to the 50-day moving average. Now, we can see the NASDAQ is still ticking down. That's why you can see these baby stair-step legs down. However, soon it should be, and I would mean really soon, in like a couple more weeks, should start to be turning up. If it can turn up with the 50-day moving average above it and price above it, that should be when we start to see our killer longs that could just come out of the woodwork everywhere. Now, I don't know when we're going to see that or anything, but I hope it's soon. But it's kind of disappointing, though, whenever you have some big gains yesterday and you wake up and, half of it's gone just because of just, that's what rebalancing can do, I guess, to some indexes. But that's just the way it was yesterday. Still, I got some great fills today, and I'm feeling overall good. And so, do I still feel that way after looking at the New York Stock Exchange? Absolutely. Look, once again, yes, we have lower volume. That's a problem. I don't like it. But the fact is that since breaking down below the 50-day moving average and touching the 200-day moving average, we've been able to rally overall. And in the 5 days that we've rallied, volume has been below average, but almost just as big as it was on the down previous 5 sessions that came before it. So it's a nice little support. It isn't anything magical, but it's better than seeing a down day after such a nice day we had. And which also brings me to another thing. After we had the strong session on Thursday, people were like, well, there's lower volume. And then some people are like, oh, NYSE down 0.15%. Higher volume, that's not a fall through, that's a failure. Sorry, guys, if you look at your intraday pattern, you can clearly tell the action but mainly happened at the bottom side, found support, and ran all the way up to the upside. So all the strength was in the top part of the S&P 500. And that goes along with the NYSE, very bullish tail there, and then the NASDAQ today, which also had a very, very bullish price session on that day. And then today, as you can see, the NASDAQ bullish session, New York Stock Exchange bullish session, and the S&P 500 another bullish session that you can see being built today. Overall, just great stuff. I know it was lower volume, but who cares? It was beautiful. I'm very happy with it. Really quickly, looking at gold, as you can see, it's holding on to the 50-day moving average, telling me that this rally is not due to a stronger economy, but is being done due to inflation. So as long as gold's rallying, I'm happy because I'm long gold from the 800 to 900 area, and I plan on wanting to buy a lot more in those areas as the time goes on. But it is what it is. Same with silver. Silver looks great. Holding up to the uptrend. Kind of tried to fall below it today, but you see the bullish reversal intraday. That kind of gives it hope that it'll go back up. Platinum, kind of a nasty day, but that's why I keep on telling you, gold, gold, gold is where I'm looking at. As you can see, gold finds support perfectly on the 50-day moving average. And then whenever it makes it below, it finds it perfectly at the 200-day moving average. And then once it gets back above the 50-day moving average, it becomes strong support. So no reason to hate on all that. However, what can we hate on? The United States dollar. The United States dollar looked like it was going to reverse that head and shoulders breakdown. This is the neckline here as it started to rally again. However, if it can't get to the 50-day moving average, ends up failing there and rolling over with it, pretty soon the 50-day moving average is going to lead its butt right below that neckline. And like I said, on a previous neckline I drew, by the way, in case you just don't know, this is, shoulder, head, shoulder right here is how I see it. So there's the head and shoulders top. Here's the neckline going straight across. You can see the breakdown, but it's rallied since then. And however, though, connecting those two lines is a neckline, or even this is a neckline. And as you can see, we've already had breakdowns. So the dollar overall is in downtrends on multiple time frames. Not time to be bullish. Let's see if I want to get the time to pull up the IBD indexes to show you, to actually show myself, did they lead today? IBD 100, of course. Relative strength line dips down a little bit, so not good, but still up overall for the day. Can't hate on that at least, especially when the indexes were leading for a while. IBD 85.85 also up on the day. Relative strength line ticked down a little bit, but still good to see it up. So overall, I don't have anything to complain about. I remain bullish due to the trend that we have, and as long as we're trending higher on the indexes, and I got stocks going up 113%, 114%, and then like I said, moving from April 9th till today, 103%. I can't get bearish on this market just yet. I can be cautious, of course, obviously, duh, because it's kind of whippy, but still, I can't be bearish. That's just impossible. All right, I'm going to go and wrap it up there. I'm going to get back with our subscribers so we can work on making money on the long side. All right, aloha.